Hey guys, what's up? It's Seth. It's the 16th of June today. Happy Pride to everybody. I don't know. Mostly Prides are different in different cities, but still. Um, yeah, this whole week has been awesome. I've seen some people in person from YouTube, and I've been going to a bunch of events, and I just have loved it. I love how open and visible Portland has been, so yeah, I definitely feel like the trans presence is there. I remember like 2 or 3 or 4 years ago when I was first coming out as trans, I went to Pride, and I wasn't like openly out to my parents about being trans until I think it was 2 years ago. Um, and so that was my first Pride going and like having the trans t-shirt and all this stuff on, being like, yes, like I want to see, other people who are genderqueer and feel the presence and go and find some, places to go for support and all this stuff. And so I went to Pride that year, and I remember just feeling a complete lack of like trans booths and things at the festival, and didn't really see many people wearing trans t-shirts or being visibly trans, which makes sense because a lot of people pass so much you wouldn't know. Um, so yeah, but there was no march. There used to be a trans march, and now I don't think it really exists anymore. Mostly it's just the Dyke March, but it exists through, I think, the Q Center, and some clubs run their own kind of marches. So yeah, it's kind of nice to go back now and be able to go out and really feel that there's more of a genderqueer presence just in the community in general. And I decided to do intramuscular injections. So this is because I've had a little bit of trouble injecting intramuscularly by myself. I haven't been injecting by myself, like solely, like, in my room alone for a while, because I did my first few ones alone, and then I started to go to the health clinic, which I went to for about 3 months, and she was doing them for me, because they're not very trans familiar, and she just kind of felt bad. She was like, oh my god, you do shots in your leg by yourself? And I was like, yeah. So she was like, honey, let me do them for you. My shots, I've done like the past 8 by myself. Probably 4 or 5 of them, the tea has come back out at least a few drops, or a little dribble of it, and it just makes me so, I don't know, just not confident in doing my own shots, because every time I do it and I see the tea come out, I'm like, fuck. Like, great, cool, I can't do my shots right. So it's kind of a downer. So I asked her about it. Sorry, I'm just storytelling today. And she was like, let's switch you to subcutaneous injections, because she went to the Philly Trans Conference, and everybody there at the clinics, at the little conference-y meeting about injections, was like, no, like, you should switch to subQ. A lot of people are doing it. We're even putting new patients on that to start, which my endo originally was like, no, let's start you on intramuscular, because that's what everybody, has put research out on. So it's really cool to see that since January, the, education on injections has increased, and there's been more trans info. So the needles, if you can see, are about half the size, if not, a third of the size of the ones that I use. And what you do is you inject at like 45-degree angle into your belly fat. You like pinch it, instead of pulling it taut as you would like in your leg for an intramuscular one. You pinch the fat and inject at a 45-degree angle. And I haven't done it yet, so she didn't teach me how, because it wasn't my shot day, but I pretty much understand, the basics. If anybody has any advice about whether or not to aspirate for these ones, I'm pretty sure you don't need to, because there's less of a risk of hitting vessels and veins and arteries and stuff like that when you're not going into the muscle, so that'll make it a lot quicker, and that could avoid, all of the issues I was having. So we'll see if this changes anything. I thought I'd give it a try. I can always go back to intramuscular ones. For acne, we discussed, the fact that I was getting most of the stuff on my shoulders and back. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really kind of, started to come down to at least here, which it never used to before. I was given zinc and vitamin A. So this is like I'm going to do a concentrated dose of this, 3 of each pill a day with food, for about 3 months, and it can get kind of toxic if you do it for that long, for an extended period of time. So after 3 or 4 months, we'll see how it's affecting me, and either lower it, or that'll be it. But for my face, I have had amazing results with Proactive. Like, it comes with 3 little things. One of them's a wash, one of them's just a toner. It takes off all the extra oil, and the other one you put on at night, and it dries everything out. So the next morning, it looks good. I have to say, like, I still have the coloration of where the acne was, and that's just starting to go away, like the patch here and the patch over here. But the size and the swelling, because most of my trans acne has come from, I call it my trans puberty. It's come from getting facial hair, and so the buildup of the oils is mainly in the area where I'm getting the facial hair, which I'm actually getting, which is crazy. So it was like under the skin and kind of a swelling type of acne instead of what I had in actual puberty, which was just like, the occasional bump on my face and stuff. But yeah, this has just really reduced the swelling and the size and everything, and it's awesome. I really recommend it. Yeah, other than that, have been looking for a top surgeon. I really don't think I can afford or, let myself spend $11,000 on Dr. Alter's peri procedure. Um, I was really set on that, and that was pretty much the best peri results that I'd seen so far, on YouTube most of the time. There's not that many results that he has on TransBucket. Pretty much saving for my daily life, and I'm barely getting by as is because there's a horrible economy right now, and I can barely get my part-time job back because they've already hired. So yeah, I'm kind of financially screwed at the moment. But she gave the name of Dr. I'm just going to spell it out because I can't really pronounce it. Mangubat in Seattle, Washington. He emailed me back and said it would be about I think it was 7,250. I have to double check that, but yeah, it was in the 7,000 range. If you know of anyone else, this is 3 hours from my house, so that's pretty awesome. I haven't seen any results from him though, not on YouTube, not on TransBucket really, that are peri procedures. So if you know of any other peri surgeons in the United States, I would totally travel. In the 6 to 7, 8,000 range. Yeah, send me a message or comment down here. I have obviously looked at Medalli and Fisher and Alter and this guy, so anybody else that I don't know about, yeah, let me know. Alright, cheers. Happy Pride, everybody.